Start with three Omkara. Om. 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 Namaskaram, Mitra. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचाम् मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनाम् पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिराणतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् ॐ अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Namaste. Welcome you all for today's session. Yesterday, we had a quick glimpse of the whole Yoga Sutra, Paatanjala Yoga Sutra, which is one of the Shat Darshanas, the six schools of Indian philosophy, into which we saw that there are four chapters. The first chapter being the Samadhi Pada, where he defines yoga and gives details about the chitta vrittis, the functions, the modifications of the mind. We understood the chitta bhumika, the antakaranas, and various other connected aspects. So the first chapter defines what yoga is, the goal setting, the ultimate goal of yoga, the samadhi. So what are the different layers of samadhi is detailed, of course. But in this course, we would not go into that. It is for further deliberation, understanding in later higher courses. And then in the second path, the second pada, or the second quarter, the second chapter, which is samadhi, sadhana pada, where we understood that the two paths of kriya yoga and the ashtanga yoga are mentioned. Kriya yoga is nothing but the threefold path of tapas, swadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhana. And then he goes on to talk about the ashtanga yoga, the eightfold path of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. The third chapter, Vibhuti Pada, I did mention details about the milestones that we achieve in the path of yoga, the siddhis, the powers, the clairvoyance, and various things. As we move in the path of yoga, what happens? And it does mention about a specific tool called samyama, rightly pronounced actually as sayyama. But if you correctly spell, then it becomes samyama. It's actually sayyama is the right word. The sayyama, which is mentioned in the Vibhuti Pada, is kind of intersection of the last three limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. What are the last three limbs of Ashtanga Yoga? Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Trayam Ekatra Sayyama. These three, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, together, sometimes it keeps shuffling happening. It's not just ultimately one reaches Samadhi. For example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the guru of Vivekananda, or Swami Vivekananda, when we see about them, we see that they were always moving in these things. Sometimes they were more focused, the state of ekakrata, of being in this dharana state, and they would go deep into the meditative and attain samadhi. It's not then ultimately they are always in samadhi, they come back from there. So the intermingling of these three states of dharana, dhyana, samadhi, which happens, which is called samyama or sayama. Sometimes the sayama tool is applied on various things. For example, doing a samyama on, for example, on our throat. You can keep your focus here on the throat, focus here, and then defocus from there and become one there. What is samadhi? Samyak adiyate iti samadhi, well attained. In the state of dhyana, meditation even, you have the triputi, the three things of the meditator, the object of meditation, and the process of meditation. The meditator, the object of meditation, and the process of meditation, the triputi which is there, it doesn't exist in samadhi. All these merge together. So suppose you are meditating here on this throat chakra, maybe you can call it as. What happens? It says you can quench your thirst. Kantakupe Kshutpipasaha. So like this, to attain a particular jnana about your, for example, the jnana of your janmantra katana, your previous janmas, there is a method in which you have to do that. So the past life regression and everything which is spoken about happens. So where that intense focusing and then go to that state, and then from there you defocus and become one in that samadhi, everything attains together. That is the state of samyama, which is spoken there in the Vibhuti Pada. There are different types of samyama which are spoken about. Further exploration happens in higher courses. And finally, the Kaivalya Pada tells you about the ultimate goal of yoga, the nirvana, the Kaivalya, the total freedom from all bondages, the Prakriti Laya. Here in Yoga Sutra, than calling it as the merging with the divine, the Paramatman, here he talks about the Prakriti. So Prakriti Laya is what is most spoken about. I have told you the twofold darshanas, the pair darshanas. What are they? The Sankhya and Yoga go hand in hand together. Sankhya tells about how you as a human entity came to exist here. The whole creation, how from the Panchamahabhutas, it all came, and finally, how you came to exist here as this so-and-so, Subbu, so-and-so, Narayan entity here. So it is Prasava, which is spoken in the Sankhya, and Yoga talks about Prati Prasava, going back home. Yes, you came from that ultimate reality, the Paramatman became the Jivatman, but it is back again going home. So Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyata, which is Yoga. So that when happen, that Aikyata, that ultimate merger, that total oneness, union when happens, it is called Kaivalya, the Nirvana, Kaivalya, Moksha, however we call it, that ultimate union. So these are the four chapters. Swami Satyananda Saraswati calls it as the 4 chapters of freedom, because ultimately it is for that Kaivalya Praptihi, for which we have had all those. So having understood this, we went to understand the definition of yoga, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. In the first chapter, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So when it came to Chitta, so what is Chitta? To understand that, we had an idea of the Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, the 4 Antakaranas that we have seen. And then to know what is Nirodha, we understood the 5 planes or the 5 levels of the mind in which mind could be, as Mudha, which is the dullness of the mind, Kshipta, which is the distorted state of the mind, diversified taste of the mind, then Vikshipta, between the pairs of opposites, oscillation, oscillating mind between the pairs of opposites, and finally Ekakrata, which is the focused mind, and finally Nirodha, which is the silencing of the mind. Difference between dullness and silencing also we did discuss, understand. Then the functionalities of the mind, the modifications of the mind, chitta vrittis, which are pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smriti. Pramana, the right source of perception, the misconception, which is the viparyaya, and then the imagination, which is again vikalpa, nidra, sleep, and smriti, memory. These 5 functionalities, which could be klishta and aklishta. Klishta is mean the painful, that which can cause us a harm, and that which can give us some solace. Also, it can be in a positive way, the negative way, but even the positive also should be transcended. Ultimately, chitta vritti nirodha is the goal. To silence the mind is the goal. It is then when this union could be established. What happens when you silence the mind? Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. The next sutra he says, swarupe avasthanam. When this chitta vritti nirodha happens, what happens? You get established, this drashta, the seer, means your soul, your atma, gets established in his nija swarupa, means your soul swarupa. You are not in the body mind affliction, you are in the true form of your jivatma state, right? So it is in the swarupa avasthanam, you are established in your true state of existence or consciousness, is what is spoken about ultimately through the aspect of chitta vritti nirodha. So after understanding all the chitta vrittis, how do we do the nirodha, right? So first, again, Patanjali gives a twofold path. In the first path itself, in the Samadhi path, twofold path where he says, how is this nirodha possible? Yoga, chittavritti, nirodha. Okay, what is this yoga? The twofold, he says, abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. This nirodha, this silencing of mind, the stoppage of the functionalities of the modifications of the mind can happen through the twofold path of abhyasa and vairagya. You should note down the 2 wings, they can be called as the 2 wings of yoga, abhyasa and vairagya. What is abhyasa? The long-term practice, sustained, well-grounded, long-term practice. Abhyasa means Satu dirgha kala nairantariya satkara sevito drida bhumihi. Dirgha kala, it is not 1 day or 2 day, right? In the long term, well firmly grounded, that is what is called the abhyasa. It so happened that one day there was a monkey on top of a tree which was eating a mango. And suddenly another monkey jumped there and it plucked this mango from this monkey and it wanted to eat. Mahabharata started between the 2 monkeys, the war, for the sake of 1 mango. Then a third monkey, an elderly monkey which came there, told these 2 monkeys that why are you fighting like humans for after all 1 mango? We will share this and eat. It was intelligent enough, so he can also get his share. So all the 3 monkeys shared and ate this mango. And then the older monkey said, let us do in a proper way. Let's not just like that be the humans, they just eat, discard and go. But we would sow. Let's make a hole and sow this seed of the mango so that it can grow into a beautiful tree. And not only us, even our children can have mango. Very good, intelligent idea. They all agreed, all the 3 monkeys agreed for it. So they dug a hole and then they saw the mango seed into that. The first monkey said, it's my duty to see that I shall pour water to it every day. When you sow a seed, you should water it, right? For the plant to grow. The second monkey said, I shall see that it gets manure, fertilizers properly every day. The third monkey said, given this condition, I shall see that it grows properly. 3 monkeys agreed on their duties. Days were passing on. There was not even a small sapling which came out. And then the monkey's general body assembly gathered. The first monkey said, "Are, I have been pouring water every day. Why is it not growing?" The second monkey said, "I have been putting fertilizers, manure properly, regularly. Why it is not growing?" The third monkey said, "Yeah, that is what I am every day taking it out and seeing why it is not growing. If every day it takes it out and sees how will it grow?" That is what we are also doing. We want instant results in yoga. Nowadays, you have these instant smart watches. I myself, last time I had purchased 20 smart watches and gifted to all my yoga teachers, in fact, at Bangalore. The moment that smartwatch comes, it measures the calories you burn, the steps you take. Even perhaps I think it may measure the liter of sweats you do. What not, I don't know. So people nowadays come with these watches to class, and the moment they are bending down, immediately how much of weight I have reduced. Instant result is what is required. We don't want to do a long-term practice. I told you already about Shreyas and Preyas, the two things of tapasya, the two aspects of dharma. Sometimes that which gives you instant pleasure may not give you a long-term utility. That which gives you pain now, you have to endure, do it, and then it can give you a long-term benefit. So yoga is something like that. So abhyasa is that which is a constant, sustained effort of practice. Not just one day, 2 day, long term, until when you attain the desired result. Stop not till the goal is reached, as Swami Vivekananda said in the Kathopanishad. Prapya varan nibodhata. Until then, without stopping, we pursue, we keep doing, keep doing. That is abhyasa. And if your abhyasa should be strong enough, you do 2-3 days. New Year come, take a resolution. I should do yoga. I should go to gym. I will follow this diet. I would all those. I would be away from these wrong habits. Whatsoever decisions we make, how long? 1 week, 2 weeks. Then slowly it goes away. We come back to the same old story. So vairagya, dispassion should be there. Why I am to do this? What if I do? What is that I get? What if I don't do? What is the loss I am getting? So this discriminative power of dispassionate mind is vairagya. And that is very much important. Abhyasa vairagya are the two wings of yoga. Abhyasa vairagya vyam tannirodha. He told through abhyasa and vairagya, this nirodha, chitta vritti nirodha can happen and you can overcome the chitta vrittis, is what Patanjali told. Having said this, then further, he goes on in the same chapter further to say, as we move ahead, there are different obstacles that you face. There are different obstacles that we face as we grow ahead, move ahead in the path of yoga. And what are those obstacles? It is very much required to see. In fact, most of us also go through such obstacles often. Are you able to see my slide? Silence.
Yes, we
Are
are
you
able to
see my slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Fine. So these are the 9 obstacles on the path of yoga. Even though you have the strong willpower of the abhyasa, right? So we say if there is a will, there is a way. I would often say this proverb that if there is a will, there is a way in English. It is again something that which is from the yoga only. The will is the vairagya, the way is abhyasa. You get my point? The will is the abhyasa. The will is the vairagya, the way, approach is abhyasa, the practice. But as we move ahead, is it going to be always the bed of roses? No, sir. The path of yoga is considered to be the razor's edge. It is as if you are walking on the razor's edge. So you get different obstacles on the path. What are the obstacles? These obstacles are called as the antaraya. The obstacles are called antaraya. So what are the antarayas? There are 9. So the first is called vyadi, second sthana, third samshaya, fourth pramada, fifth alasya, sixth avirati, seventh bhranti darshana, alapta bhumikatva, eighth and ninth anavastitatva. I repeat again, vyadi, sthana, samshaya, pramada, alasya, avirati, bhranti darshana, alapta bhumikatva, and anavastitatva. It is good, better to remember these names by heart. If not, the English equivalents at least you should remember. What is the first one? Vyadi, which is very well known to all of us. Vyadi is physical illness. We would be seeing, if time permits, today itself how Vyadi is formed. If not tomorrow, we will go to understand how Vyadi comes. But we generally know that physical illness, as we move ahead, for example, you have started the yoga. You have started the yoga practice. In the beginning itself, after some time, because when you have not done such physical practice, the other day when I gave the Shitila Karana Vyayamas, more of the heavy stretches that I gave, the workouts that I gave. Afterwards, some of the students in the class complained to me, "Hare, I'm having body pain more. I'm having knee pain more. I'm having back pain more." One of them ran back to India itself after that, probably because of the pain that he got. So, Yadi, the physical illness, sometimes comes as an obstacle. Of course, what is the Nivarti? Yoga itself, when you start doing yoga, Roga Nivaranam. Vyadi is also called Roga. The absence of Roga is called Arogya. So, how do you get Arogya? Again, Yoga Roga Nivaranam. Through yoga itself, you can get rid of the Roga or Vyadi. But Vyadi also comes in the path of yoga as an obstacle. We need to overcome that. How? Because you have to understand here that yoga itself is for me to get out of this Vyadi. So I will go. You should not put an excuse saying that I am not well, therefore I cannot come to yoga. You will be well only when you go to yoga, no doubt. Initially, those problems, the pains, the struggle will be there. I told you in Shreyas. But we need to sustain, endure. So overcoming this obstacle in the path of yoga, these are all not just in yoga, the path of life, the obstacles on the path of life itself, because yoga is life. So second, sthana, which means kind of lethargy, the illness of the mind. The illness of mind. So the physical illness, Vyadi, is something physically. Now, why physical illness itself comes? That's what Yoga Vasishta says. Vyadi happens because of Adi. When mind gets into stress, tension, anxiety, depression, any of these differences, then that results in the formation of the disease in the body. So Adi, the root cause for Vyadi is illness of the mind. That is what is called as Sthana here. Vyadi Sthana. Third one, Samshaya. What is that? Doubt. Doubt here on what? On yoga itself. Will yoga help me? You start the practice of yoga. For whatsoever, some people, ultimate, though I said the goal of yoga is for moksha praptihi, for freedom, for oneness with the divine, for jivatma, paramatma, aikyata. That is somewhere high for us. We are here for some benefits. The other day in the Meta Yoga Center, the Yoga Association, I said about the 4 kinds of people who practice yoga. The first is the people who do it for problem solving, artha. Second, who take it as a career, as a resource making, artharthi. Then third, curious, research minded people, jigyasu. Finally, yogi, who does it for yoga's sake, for the union ultimately, who is a jnani. Let us take most of the people, majority of people who take yoga are for the first or the second. Artha, Artharthi. Jnani, very rare. Manushyanam Sahasreshu, 1 among 1,000. Now, in the first category, even when you are told, someone tells, okay, you are having this problem. I have a headache. I have the back pain. I have this obesity for this problem, or I have the mental illness, dhyana, some psychological inhibition, psychological problem. I'm into depression. I'm into anxiety. I'm into tension, whatsoever the problem it could be, for which yoga is brought forth a solution. But what happens in between? The doubt that we have, the samshayam we have. Samshayatma vinashyati, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, this person who is doubtful, right, he collapses. He cannot grow further. So samshaya, doubt which comes, we need to move ahead, growing ahead in this, by getting clarified. How do you overcome this? By going to the Guru, tat vidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya. You go to the Guru and get clarified. I have a doubt. Don't just keep the doubt. Go, open, talk, get clarified. The doubt could be on yoga. In fact, in most cases, doubt could be on the Guru himself. Vivekananda was one such doubting Thomas who did not accept his Guru easily. He would test the Guru Ramakrishna Paramamsa in various ways. Right? So that is also would be there even when you started the course. Many of you had this doubt whether this course will go successfully, whether I would be able to go. A lot of Yoga Sutras, Sanskrit is all told, whether I would be able to learn it or not. So a doubt on you yourself. First, a doubt on yoga. You can note down what are the different doubts which arise. The doubt on the system itself, the system of yoga itself, there's a doubt. Second, the doubt on the teacher who teaches, is he a right person? I would say always you should have this doubt and then get clarified. If you are not satisfied, then better you go and then find the right Guru. If you are sincere, if you are seeker properly, you will get the right Guru at the right time. You don't have to go elsewhere shopping. He will come to you in whatsoever form, in whichever form. So second, on the Guru, the teacher. And third, the doubt on yourself. Am I able to commit myself to do yoga? Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to, pass in this course? So the doubt is very possible to arise even on you. No doubt. Doubt can happen. But what do you do? Pariprashnena. Question, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find, says the Bible. You ask, seek, find out. That's what Buddha did. That's what Vivekananda did. And therefore they are today standing as great exemplary yogis. Right? So solving this obstacle of doubt, samshaya, move on to the next state of pramada. Pramada can be called as the carelessness or a lack of foresight, and also it is more of the having a kind of hastiness. So this is another big obstacle which happens. Sometimes what you have taken it, but what, as I told other, in certain things you should have is what I don't care attitude, but not on yoga itself. You have a attitude of I don't care on the other obstacles. On the obstacles you have I don't care attitude, but not on yoga itself. On yoga, the system, the discipline, again the Guru, you should have a shraddha, not pramada. Pramada is a kind of the carelessness what we have. Going further, alasya is again the dullness, laziness of the body which even happens. The dhyana is a kind of the dullness of the mind. Here, alasya is a laziness which can happen even in our body. I got late. That is because of the next avirati. If avirati is there, then alasya happens. What is avirati? Overindulgence. Night, oh, very difficult. I go to sleep only late night. Means you're working too much. That is also an overindulgence. Or getting into other things of eating the food, or even the addictions and all wrong habits, even the mobile phone, spending too much of time in the gadgets. All these are indulgence. And I did not tell about the unwanted pleasures that today the younger generation get involved in. The Instagram even is an over intelligence to be progressing in the path of yoga, even though it so makes us happy when Anita says you are seen in the Instagram news. There's a post about you in the Instagram, or people share this, whatever about yoga also today. That also happens to be a great tool for us to progress, for us to do. But that should be also in a limit. Ati sarvatra varjaye. Overindulgence should not be there. That is what is avirati. And what happens as a result of it? That puts you into alasya, a laziness, a tiredness. And finally, the Bhranti Darshana, the hallucination, or kind of the, again, distorted perception. This is more dangerous when you move ahead in the path of yoga slowly, especially I have seen this more with the Western world. When people come, immediately they think, oh, we become great, I become a yogi, I become a Maharshi, my Kundalini awakens and whatnot. I think I've told you the other day that it so happened in one of our class. I was talking about the chakras and the Kundalini and all. And there was this American student who was there in Bangalore in the ashram. And then as I was telling about the different chakras, how to meditate on that and everything, this person slowly started moving his body like this and like that. And something was happening. I don't know what is happening, what the unusual thing which is happening in his body, right? Even I was puzzled. What is this which is happening? So I went closer to see. He's thinking, he's telling to himself, the voice I could hear, Kundalini, Kundalini is awakening, awakening. Now it came to the Anahata, now it's going to the Ajna. What is happening? It is not even happening to me. So far, I have been talking about it. What is this that is happening? Then when I saw in the back, there was a cockroach which was going up through his spine and it has reached his back here and about to go to the head. If it go to the head, he would have declared the Kundalini reached my Sahasrara. So this is a Bhranti Darshana, a hallucination. Even this is a physical experience which he misunderstood. Like I told you, the Viparya. So there's something which is happening. You misunderstand that to be another thing. But it can be a kind of a combination of the Viparya and Vikalpa. That is what is called the hallucination, the Bhranti Darshana. More when we go in the path of yoga, we think, oh, immediately I have become a great yogi. The big thing. You would have completed 200-hour course. The title comes, I am yogi so-and-so, yogini so-and-so. Nothing, right? We are yoga sadhakas. We have stepped into that. It is long way to go. A long way to go. Nevertheless, you can achieve it. I don't discourage, but it takes a long abhyasa, the long-term practice, the firm groundness that is very important. That's what we see in the next non-attainment of the yogic stages. Alapta bhumikatva. You have to attain. It is very important. Salapta bhumikatva is kind of lack of perseverance, the inability to proceed to the next stage. We get stuck. It happened even with Vishwamitra. Eh? It happened. It happened even with Vishwamitra, right? Why am I not seen here? Stop share log. Okay. So, as we see, the Arabdha Bhumitva is not attainments of these stages. As we progress, sometimes we get stuck in the various stage. As I was telling the example of even great people like Vishwamitra. He was progressing nicely. But what happened? He got distorted. He got diverted by the Apsara called Menaka, who came there and diverted him through her beauty, through all those plans which he made. So it is possible. That is where we should be very careful. I told going in the path of yoga is like walking on the razor's edge. So what happened then? You don't get to attain. You get stuck at one place. So we need to move. Now, what is happening? In most cases, people get stuck with asana itself. Then there is no dhyanam and other things which are happening, samadhi, not to talk about, right? So not getting stuck at one stage is not just non-attainment. You would have attained something, but getting stuck there. Now you have to move towards one place to other. On the way, you will get various things. So from Karama, I am going to Burjuman. On the way, I get a lot of restaurants. I get a lot of other things. If I get stopped there, oh, this is good, that is good. I need to move ahead. What happens even in the malls when you go to purchase some shopping, simple thing. You are planned to buy something, but end up buying too many other things on the way, and finally you forget buying what you actually wanted to buy. So this is a kind of diversion which happens. So it's because you are not firmly grounded. The bhumikatva here that we saw yesterday also, chitta bhumikas. Bhumika means it is the ground, a base. So this bhumikatva is not there. So that is why you are not able to attain the different yogic benefits. So it is lack of perseverance, the inability to proceed to the next stage of the goal because of some stagnation, non-attainment of yogic state. And again, anavasthitatva. You attained. One is not able to move. Somehow, okay, you moved, and then you attained. You are not able to maintain it. That astitva is not maintained. So you fail to maintain the status. I have seen many people have attained great heights. But then, because of various mundane reasons, again, the diversifications, at least I told you Vishwamitra was someone who moved ahead and became a Brahmarshi. There are many because of the Arishit Vargas get stuck there and they fail to maintain the yogic state. So they have finally kind of the regression, because of which they fail to attain the yogic state. These are the obstacles, the impediments which are there as an obstacle in the path of yoga. What are they? Vyadi, Dhyana, Samshaya, Pramada, Alasya, Avirati, Bhranti Darshana, Alabdha Bhumikatva, Anavasthitatva. Now, along with this, there are 4 more added, which are called the Sahabhuvaha. There are Sahabhuvaha, which means the symptoms. As you are facing the obstacles, there are 4 symptoms which accompany. How do you know I'm having this obstacle? I am stuck here in the path of yoga. How do you know? These are the 4 symptoms accompanying the 9 obstacles called the Sahabhuvaha. What are they? Dukkha, Daurmanasya, Angame Jayatva, Shwasa Prashwasa. Repeat. Dukkha, Daurmanasya, Angame Jayatva, Shwasa Prashwasa. The first one is Dukkha, sorrow or sadness. You are into doubt, or you are into that mental illness of the Sthana, or you get stuck in the Avirati, whatever. So how do you recognize that I am into any of these obstacles? I am into any of this antaraya. How do you get to know this? It is because of the dukkha, the sorrow, the sadness, the misery. And that is indicated through the next, which is daurmanasya, your mind get into negative thinking, the bitterness of the heart, which is in the form of the negative thinking or more of the pessimism, not having an optimistic mind, having a pessimistic mind, which is the dhaurmanasya. And third, angame jayatva. What is this? Your physical unsteadiness. Physical unsteadiness, which can happen because of the physiological imbalances. So which means your body is not listening to you. When we try to do yoga in this way, the posture, simple and a posture. Just think of the Tadasana. B.K. Iyengar Guruji will not let you proceed into the class if you don't maintain Tadasana for 3 hours. I was showing to Narayan the other day how in one, your downward, what is it? Adhomukha Shvanasana. In Adhomukha Shvanasana itself, he will make us to stand, maintain, to get that steadiness. for hours together. Once when you attain that completely, then when the next asana, then when you can take the leg forward to the Ashwasanchalana. So even in Adho Mukha Shvanasana, hours together, in those days, people used to maintain. Now it's everything instant. Only Instagram yoga. Instant yoga and Instagram yoga. So Angame Jayatva, the body, getting into unsteadiness is a symptom because of which you understand if the body is not steady, so I have either Vyadi or Sthana, Avirati, that is how you understand. And fourth is you have Shwasa Prashwasa. What is that? Irregular, shaky, uncomfortable breathing. These are the things which leads to Vikshepa Sahabhuvaha. I told already Vikshepa is kind of the disruption or the distortion which happens. Vikshipta, the mind which we say, right? So Vikshepa Sahabhuvaha. So the Dukkha Daurmanasya Angame Jayatva Shwasa Prashwasaha, these are the 4 symptoms accompanying the obstacles which happen. Having understood this, of course, how do we overcome that? What should we do to overcome all these obstacles? I already have told you. What is that? Abhyasa. He says that pratishedhartam ekatattva abhyasa. Abhyasa is required. But to overcome this, that pratishedhartam, to counter these obstacles, what you should do? Abhyasa, that to ekatattva abhyasa means one single principle on which you should do more of the abhyasa. Having said this, again, in the next sutra, I will, though there's a slide which is not there, I would use the whiteboard and write this. So he gives a beautiful tool how we should maintain our mind in a ekatattva abhyasa and attain chitta prasadanam. What is chitta prasadanam? Tranquility of mind. How to attain chitta prasadanam? Chitta prasadanam is tranquility of the mind. That is the ultimate aim, right? So for the union to go, ultimate is union, yoga, yudhate aneniti yoga, for which first chitta vritti nirodha to happen. What is the result of chitta vritti nirodha? Chitta shuddhi happens and chitta prasadanam, tranquility of mind. Mind gets into that silencing. For that sake, so another beautiful way of the pratipaksha bhavana, which he is giving here, Patanjali is giving the pratipaksha bhavana. Again, it is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada's Upadesha to Dhruva, in which he has told, what are they? I am going to now tell you 4 different things. One is friendship. Second, compassion. Different behaviors. Friendship, compassion, happiness, indifference. Friendship, compassion, happiness, indifference, these 4 are told. Now another 4 are told. What are they? Wrong. Good. Sorrow or misery. And happy. These 4 things are told. 4 states of people are told here. So what should we do? He says, first is friendship, a behavior here. With whom do you make a friendship? Have a friendship with people who are happy. Make a friendship with people who are happy. Don't make a friendship with someone who is in misery, sorrow, because the friendship you have with them can put you also into that state. It's not that you should not, they could be your friends. They are already your friends, and your friends have gone into some kind of trouble. At that point of time, than just sharing the friendship, show compassion to them. He says, show compassion. Show compassion to people who are suffering or sorrow, right? Don't be happy about their sorrow, or don't be indifferent towards them, but show compassion to them and show your happiness on what? Someone who is doing good. When someone is doing good, array, he is doing that. Be happy about it. I am not able to do this. Don't feel, array, Narayana, array, you started yoga center. What is this, man? Since long time, I am thinking of starting a yoga center. I am not able to start this. Array, you got this sari, Vani? For a long time, I'm thinking of getting. At least she got. Be happy. That happiness will vibrate and make you to also get the same thing. There are people who are sorrow about others being happy. We have majority of people like this. So be happy about the good thing which others are having. And finally, someone is doing something wrong. Even though he could be closer to you, like what Vibhishana did. Vibhishana had his brother Ravana. He was wrong. He was bad. He had abducted Sita, the wife of Rama. So Vibhishana tried telling to him, right? Advising him, but Ravana did not listen. So what he has to do? He has to ignore, show his indifference towards him, and he ignored him and came back and joined Rama, right? These are the four things. So we will look into what the actual Sanskrit terms as spoken by Paatanjali. The first is Maitri. Maitri is friendship. Compassion is Karuna. Happiness is Mudita. Then the indifference is Upeksha. Someone can probably take a picture of this screenshot and then share in the group also. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. Maitri towards whom? I told you, the friendship with the happy people. So here, Sukha. Karuna towards people who have Dukha. Mudita, being happy with the people who are doing good. So Punya. Upeksha, being indifferent. Being neutral. It's not just neutral. Be indifferent towards them. Ignore, right? Towards people who are doing the wrongdoing. So that is apunya. So Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Punya, Vishayanam, Bhavanata, Chitta Prasadanam. So this is the kind of the mental attitude you have for getting Chitta Prasadanam, the complete tranquility of the mind. So this is the Ekatattva Abhyasa of Chitta Prasadanam, which Patanjali speaks about. And coming back, we will look into one more important concept today. It's already 10, we will conclude it. We can look into the other things tomorrow, because if I go into that, it will take some more time to elaborate. So to conclude, to summarize, what is that we have seen today? Majorly, we have seen about the 9 obstacles in the path of yoga, the antaraya, the 4 symptoms which indicate us that we are having these one of the obstacles in the path of yoga, the sahabhuvaha and the ekatattva abhyasa. We have learned the abhyasa vairagya, the 2 wings of yoga to come out of the chitta vrittis, abhyasa vairagya abhyam tannirodha. And so out of the abhyasa, the practice also ekatattva abhyasa, to come out of the obstacles. He says, take up an idea, devote yourself to it, struggle on in patience, and the sun will rise for you, said Swami Vivekananda. Take up idea for this. Now Narayan, he had taken up the idea that I should start the best of the yoga teachers training course in Dubai. To the best of my knowledge, at least, he had been dreaming it, he had been thinking of it, he had been talking about it for not less than 2 years. He had been coming to me many times. Probably I did not take it that seriously. He had been coming again and again, talking to me. Wherever I would go, he would come, talk, tell everything about it. So that idea that I have to put it into a beautiful course, the teacher's training, so which is an idea. So that itself. Meanwhile, some more things come. Why not the teacher's training? I will do this workshop. I will do that program. This and that, hundreds come. But no, stop not till the goal is reached. Take up an idea. Devote yourself to it. Struggles come. Obstacles come. Again, when you're doing this ekatattva abhyasa, one of the antarayas will come in the way. Overcome it. How? Again, abhyasa. The firm groundedness that I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. That goal setting is very important, and then all the obstacles easily that you can overcome. For that, a beautiful way of the chitta prasadanam, how we behave, our behavior, our attitude is very important, right? So the chitta prasadanartham, he tells the ekatattva abhyasa, how the friendship, to whom, which kind of people we should have, which kind of people, compassion should we show to suffering, to the people who suffer, the misery, the people who are in trouble. Have compassion to them and help them. It is not just, ayo, you are having the compassion. No, you should translate. Compassion should be translated to action. Serve them. That is important. And then be happy about people, who are doing good work. And if they are doing wrong work, be away from them, is what is told. This is the chitta prasadanam technique which Patanjali talks about, with which we conclude for today. And tomorrow we will come back again to see further more things on the Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutra is a very important part of the course. So equally we need to understand, apply, reflect on it. Like many have yesterday made a summary and share. Today also try to make a summary of what you have learned. I have already shared the slides also. So whatever you understood, write in your own words, and then don't just again take a screenshot and send from what is there. You write, because then when you will get to understand. The recording was shared of yesterday, today also. Probably today night itself we will share, if not tomorrow morning. Narayanji will share it in the group. If you want to hear back again, hear and get to know all those. Conclude the Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरिः ओम तत्सत्. श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.